High school gymnastics on CCX tonight as the Maple Grove Crimson come to Brooklyn Park to take on the Park Center Pirates. We are underway. The varsity vault, Shanika Chapman of Park Center with their second vault. They're right in front of you as these teams wrap up the regular season tonight, and section meet coming up next week at Champlin Park High School. So look at Shanika's second vault one more time.
She's doing a quarter on and then a half twist off. She's a really powerful gymnast, and what I love about her is the line that she creates. She had straight legs, straight arms, and that's definitely what we're going to be looking for on vault.
Jessica Martinez up next for the Pirates.
Really good first vault, doing that same thing, kind of that quarter on, half off. And what she did so well was sticking that landing. It's really important this stage of the game, now that we're 1 week before sections, that you are desperately trying to get every single tenth of a point that you can so you're ready for the big meet in a week.
An 8.3 score for Jessica's first vault, and there's vault 2.
And vault 2 maybe just a little bit better on the afterflight, but definitely didn't have the landing that she's normally used to having. There again, just that little step back on the landing, but she's got great lines.
Her second vault was an 8.2, so that first vault was higher. Now Harmony Harrison. Harmony is senior co-captain.
Harmony does a nice vault there. She's doing a half on, half off. She gets her body almost all the way on that half on position on the vaulting table. So you'll see here again, great form. And then she has that really nice half off, just that small step forward on that landing.
The first vault, an 8.2.
Beautiful second vault. What I loved about this one was on the pre-flight, she had great form and such a straight body that she ends up on top of the table in a complete handstand, which is something we'll be looking for. And again, just a little step on that landing.
The second vault does score a little higher, 8.3 for Harmony. And Luna Zhang up next. Luna, just a 7th grader.
Really nice. She's added a full twist on the back side of that vault, so she's doing a half on, full off.
Her high score for the year, an 8.55. The start value for this vault, a 9.2.
She does a really nice job. She just wants to block a little bit harder so she can finish that twist completely before she lands on the mat.
8.5. And here's Luna's second vault.
Nice job. She has great distance on that afterflight. That's something judges will be looking for as well.
I love the air high fives this year. Right?
Air high fives, air elbows, you name it. There she does. Just really nice on that afterflight again. Just takes that step on the landing.
Next up, Anna Khalid holds the school record with a 9.725, perhaps the best gymnast in the state in high school gymnastics in 2021. With a real chance to win the all-around at state later this month.
She is incredible, just a powerhouse. She, in all 4 events, she doesn't have a weakness. And that's what'll make tonight really fun to watch her.
Luna's second vault, by the way, 8.4.
Beautiful. She does a Yurchenko in the laid out position. Awesome. She's got great pre-flight. She has a super strong block on that afterflight, and you'll notice she has a straight body. There's just a teeny tiny little pike down. She reminds me of watching Janie New from Park Center, just such a powerful vaulter. If she hits, this could be a big score for her. She just has to step try to not take a step on that landing, and she really is capable of a big score.
Her first one, 9.525. Let's see if she can stick the landing here on vault 2, Deb.
Nice job. So a little bit low in the shoulders, but less of a step. She is just a fun gymnast to watch. This particular vault, what makes it so difficult, she does a round off onto the springboard, a back handspring onto the vault, and then a back flip off. And she just, if she could put those two vaults together, the first vault was, she over-rotated, second vault under-rotated. She's going to find that when it's going to be a big score.
And the second one was a little slower, or lower, I should say, 9.425. You look at Bruce Smith. In all 51 years, he coached at Brooklyn Center High School first, then been at Park Center High School the last 30-plus years, in the Gymnastics Hall of Fame for the state of Minnesota. He is such a joy to talk to. Every time we come to a meet or I see him at track and field, it's just a great guy and so good with the kids.
You know, and his passion for the kids, he just wants everyone to have an opportunity to participate in a sport, whether they're, good or not good. He gives those kids the opportunity in all the sports that he coaches, and he is just an amazing man, and I hope he ends up with the recognition he deserves. I don't ever want him to retire, because it'll just be weird if he's not here.
Warm-ups going on right now for Maple Grove on the bars. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back, and then we'll see the Crimson for the first time on the uneven bars. We continue with gymnastics on CCX in a moment.
CCX Media, your source for great local programming, is now available on Roku and Apple TV. Our free app allows you to stream all 3 of our channels live. You'll also have access to a large on-demand library, including daily newscasts and full sporting events. To find the app, go to the store and search CCX and download our free app. Then sit back and enjoy all of your favorite local content. Now available on Roku and Apple TV.
Back at Park Center High School to the uneven bars. Maple Grove up first for their first competition this evening. As we look at Abby Canan.
Abby's a really nice start for Maple Grove. She might not have the difficulty in the Giants or any of the release moves, but what she has is consistency. She kept that routine moving. She's got good form. She chose a change of direction. These moves here are rear up raises into a nice tuck flyaway dismount. We spend a lot of time talking about that first gymnast that goes up on each event. Maybe doesn't necessarily have the most difficult routine, but it's usually your most consistent, so they can start that first score and hopefully the teams can build from there, especially on the balance beam. You want the one that's got glue on her feet for that.
Waiting for the score for Abby. Bryn McClure will be up next for the Crimson. And a score of 7.5 for Abby Canan. And now Bryn McClure.
Beautiful kip to free hip, back hip circle. That is my absolute favorite transition move, a back toe circle. I just think it looks beautiful and a lot of fun. Doing these rear uprises into long hang kip. Very nice flyaway dismount. You can tell she is happy with that one. You'll see she doing these back hip circles into this rear uprise, long hang kip, big cast. Nice flyaway dismount. The coach actually stands in there. There's no deduction for him to be there unless he feels the need to, if the gymnast is, going to be in danger of not landing safely, then the coach can step in and kind of assist in that way. There is a deduction for that, but for him standing there, kind of watching the gymnast, it's all perfectly permittable. In watching some of the college gymnastics, you should see these judges going under the bar, between the bar, and the gymnast is just going, and I would be freaky if it were me.
7.85 for Brim DeCoeur. This is Meg O'Leary.
Doing a kip cut catch into now switching direction on that bar again. Beautiful. Keeping that routine flowing. Giant swings. Nice job. There's 2 in a row into a rear uprise, swing to a pike flyaway dismount, and boy, the landing can't get better than that.
Maple Grove as a team this year, their high score 139.15.
Here you'll see she does, it's called a kip cut catch, which counts as a release move, doing it on the low bar. Then she does back hip circle into almost a layout flyaway, but a perfect landing on that. She just had a little bit of pike in her hips, and maybe that she chose to do a pike versus a layout.
Sasha Thompson will be the 4th gymnast still to come, one of the top gymnasts in the state as well, and previous state qualifier.
And she is just packed full of power and energy. It's been fun to watch her warm up. During warm-ups, we kind of get a little glimpse of the routines that she's going to be doing here today. But for a little pint size, she is mighty.
Score of 8.25 for Meg O'Leary.
Getting ready here. She's got her giant swings as well. Beautiful body position. Straight arms, straight legs. Full twisting flyaway. And what about that landing? By adding that full twist to that flyaway, it creates it for a more difficult landing, but you would never know that. This is just performed beautifully, great form, just nailed it. And look at that smile, very happy with that.
Your correction a moment ago on Meg O'Leary's score, 8.175. Abby Palmer will be up next. Abby, a new gymnast, the high school team this year, came over from club, and one of a couple of girls that's had an injury early in the season that she's just getting back to full strength, maybe not even quite full strength, but more to the level that she had hoped to be. And a lot of sophomores on this team, a few seniors, but no juniors. So a lot of these girls we'll see for 2 more years competing for Maple Grove.
Wow. And it's hard. This season is short, so you didn't have the amount of time. Beautiful bail over the top of that bar, keeping this routine moving. But they didn't get the 2 months that they would to get their bodies in shape for this, and probably didn't have a lot of workout time over the summer either. So I think they're doing an amazing job. Her routine is beautiful. You'll see these are giant swings, and she does a bail over that bar, low bar, which is a wonderful release move. Here is that beautiful giant combination into a layout flyaway, and again, just a superb landing.
Sasha Thompson's score was 8.675. We'll hold on a moment while they add up the score for Abby Palmer.
I wonder if she came over from Twin City Twisters, perhaps. It's the big gym out in this area, which has produced gymnasts like Maggie Nichols and Gracie McCullum, who this year is vying for a spot on our Olympic team. She's just an incredible gymnast. And, of course, Maggie had a wonderful career at Oklahoma. I think she got the most 10s one year.
Really?
Pretty incredible.
That's awesome.
Yes, yes. I get very proud of Minnesota being, represented in the Olympics this year. So there could potentially be 2 of them.
Holding on Abby Palmer's score. They're 9.3 from one of the judges. And we're going to have our first judges conference of the night between Ann Suits and Avery Schroed before we get a final score for Abby Palmer.
We were talking with Bruce earlier, and Ann is regarded as one of the top judges, not only in the state, but in the country as well. She is very well known in the gymnastics community, and it's very fun to have her here tonight.
Well, it looks like identical 9.3 scores, so they may just be going over the totals for all the team. We'll take a break, come back. If it's different than 9.3, we'll let you know. But a nice job by Abby Palmer finishing up on the beam. Crimson will be up on the vault in a moment. More gymnastics on CCX right after this. John Jacobson with Debbie Rasmussen. We are back at Park Center High School. Final night of the regular season in high school gymnastics. Northwest Suburban Conference. And you saw the bars for Maple Grove a moment ago. They're the 5 girls who competed. Of course, top 4 scorers being used. And Abby Palmer with that 9-3 finishing it up for the Crimson. Meg O'Leary will be up first for Maple Grove. She'll be followed by Brynn McClure, Abby Canan, Kylie McCaffrey, and Sasha Thompson.
Looks like they are working on a potential Yurchenko. She does that beginning part where she does the round-up back handspring onto the vaulting table and then just blocks off, but actually beautiful form and just floats it right in there. So my guess is she's on to bigger and better things eventually, because that's a wonderful pre-flight to this vault.
Her first vault in 8.25.
Another really nice vault. Just a small step on that landing. You know, we've been finding that it's been really fun. Here she goes with that, Yurchenko, or round off back handspring on, and then just that step. We don't get the crowds that we used to because obviously of COVID, but the gymnasts have been doing such an incredible job to keep these meets alive, and you hear everybody just cheering to beat the band, so it's very fun.
Brynn McClure's first vault. The second vault for Meg O'Leary a little higher, 8.275.
This vault is beautiful, and what I love about it, here's her second vault. There you go. And again, just a little step on that landing.
That was the second vault for Meg O'Leary. Now Brynn McClure's second vault here, her first one, scoring an 8.55.
Her twisting is so quick and clean. That's what makes this vault beautiful. It's a half on, full off. And what I love when I see gymnasts be able to, they block off the horse before they begin that twist, and her twist is so quick. Really pretty vault. Here's that half on, she blocks. Really nice full twist. Again, just that step on the landing.
8.575, so again, just a touch higher on the second vault, as Meg O'Leary had done for Bryn McClure. Abby Canan is up next.
Nice. She does a handspring full with a real, it's a forward vault with a blind landing, and she stuck that landing, so it was really nice. So here you'll see she does a front handspring, does a block, and then does that full twist, and just nails it.
Good first vault for Abby, scoring an 8.8.
And again, another beautiful vault. She got a little bit more distance on this second vault, but was a little bit lower in that landing. So you'll see here she has a great run, beautiful block, and just kind of a little more loose in the hips on that landing, but again, a nice vault.
Next up, Kylie McCaffrey. It'll be her only varsity event tonight, sophomore.
Handspring full, and again, what she does so lovely is the block on the horse. She both hands come off that horse before she begins the full twist, and she too has a very snappy twist.
Abby Canan's second vault was 8.55. Her first 8.65 will be the one that'll count for her. We'll get Kylie getting ready for her second vault.
All she needs to do is work on that landing, and she's going to have a good score. Beautiful block. Nice. Little step backwards, and that was it.
Kylie's first vault was an 8.85.
When this vault is done correctly like this, it's just fun. She blocks, quick spin, just a teeny tiny step backwards.
And an 8.9 for vault 2. And Sasha Thompson is next.
Beautiful tuck Sukahari with a solid landing on that one. And I don't know if you can see that. Her shins and ankles are taped pretty heavily, which can be, a lot of shin splints. So that makes vaulting not exactly fun, but boy, did she perform that well.
That's in the low 9s, at least, I would guess here.
Now, during warm-ups, she was also working on one in the pike position, which is worth a little bit more than the tuck position. Whether or not she does that, we'll see.
First one scored a 9.15.
Beautiful. Oh, gosh, landed just a little tiny short on that, that has to hurt those shins. But gymnasts, they're just tough athletes.
We're going to have to do that, Deb, like air at
Woo!
the end of the broadcast,
There she goes, and you'll see shoulders are just down a tiny bit. But again, adding the straight legs to this, to the pike version of this, increases the difficulty. Just landed a little short.
And her vault just a little bit short as well compared to the first score, 9.05 on vault 2 for Sasha Thompson. Another break in the rotations here at Maple Grove, or at Park Center rather. We'll be back with Park Center on the uneven bars. More high school gymnastics on CCX coming your way in a moment.
I don't think we're free in this country. For 100 years, you saw Black people menaced and targeted and lynched and beaten and brutalized. I think we're burdened by this history. More people have to be willing to do that uncomfortable, inconvenient thing that justice requires for things to get better.
Truth can inspire change. Learn more at EJI.org.
As you look at the scores for Maple Grove on the vault, we get another look at Tanika Chapman here on the bars for Park Center. The 8th grader. Nice kip routine.
And she's just, you know, just that really consistent first athlete up, just kind of like on the vault. And that routine was great. You know, again, not the difficulty that we'll see in another routine coming up later, but just really a nice bar worker. One move goes straight into the next. There were no stops. She had good form, solid, consistent start for Park Center today.
You got great form, and I guarantee I was not that tall in 8th grade. It's just Tanika.
And I will, you know, and that's what makes this routine or this piece of apparatus for the tall girls. It's so beautiful to watch them on bars. They create such great lines, and we're not used to seeing gymnasts that tall. It's harder to do this when you're a tall gymnast, and she made it look super easy.
And she gets her season high score. How about that? 6.8.
Good job.
Jessica Martinez Ayala up for Park Center. Junior all-arounder. High score this year, 6.925. Coach Smith said hoping to break into the 7s. She's
really good on those kips. Whoa, gosh, see right there. Beautiful save by the spotter. That is a sign of a really good coach, spotting coach too. He could see she was, you'll see here, he can tell that she is gonna let go way too early and he just jumps in. I jump in to save the day.
Well, Jared Bradford, good job, coach.
Yes. Spotting is hard because, you know, you got to make that call because there is going to be that deduction. But in this time, it was beautiful. He stepped right in, and very last minute, you can't see him, but he's kind of wiping his brow at the moment and stuff. That is a good spotter.
Harmony Harrison awaiting her turn. Harmony's one of the co-captains and seniors. Bruce's got 6 seniors this year, have been so good and just steady, and when things don't go right, if they fall or something, they get right back on. And he said that's made a difference in a couple of meets this year where they don't get rattled when something goes wrong during a routine.
And that's super important for your captains is you want to teach those younger girls, you know, we've got good days and we've got bad days, but all in all, we just keep moving and you don't ever give up.
Jessica Martinez score 6.65. Harmony Harrison's been as high as 6.875. Let's take a look at this. They're working on the high bar here, Deb.
She's doing long hang kip, cast into that back hip circle. And what you want to make sure is that the movements just keep going one into the other. Really nice flyaway tuck dismount with a lot of height on that.
.55 for Harmony. Luna Zhang up next. Again, just a 7th grader, an all-arounder. High score this year in this event, 8.15.
Really nice. She does a shoot over that low bar. And you'll notice she is competing with her mask on, and some girls are choosing to do that, and I commend them because it's hard to actually compete while wearing that. It's like it's no big deal. Beautiful routine for her. And she's going into that long hang kip. She cast another long hang kip on that high bar. Big cast. Gorgeous layout flyaway. She just floated on that landing. Annika
Lee will be next. Annika was 2nd in the state last year. in the uneven bars. Bruce talked about the great gymnasts he's had here, and he mentioned Molly Umlin, who competed here in the early to mid-'90s, went on to compete at the University of Minnesota, and Annika as his top 2 gymnasts of all time.
Oh my gosh.
And that's pretty good company for
Yes,
both of them.
For both of them. And she does a bar routine here that could compete at the Big Ten level.
Luna's bar score 8.0. Now Annika Lee.
She does giants the other way, hits that release to that low bar in a perfect handstand. I mean, this is what college coaches and stuff are looking for. She has it. Here is a backwards. I love the pirouettes that she's doing. Wow. That was awesome, as you can tell by her coach. Very excited for that routine.
That was triple air high five.
It was awesome.
That was outstanding.
Here she does that release, lands in the handstand on that low bar, which is so hard to do. And then here she'll do a giant. Oh, let's pirouette, go the other way. Here we are in a double back flyaway dismount with just the tiniest step on that landing. As a coach, you love that when you know that they have done the best that they can and you're hoping for that big score, because that was a wonderful, wonderful routine.
And Suits looking at the scores, getting them entered as we get to hold on just a moment for Annika's bar score. One judge still working, Avery, on compiling her notes, and they'll compare scores in a moment. Coach Smith liked it, I think.
Yeah, I think he did. He's sitting right behind him. He's waiting. If it's not going to be big enough, I think he'll be over there. Looks like we're doing some hand signals over there. I'm not quite sure.
I want to make sure that they both saw the same thing, right? That,
yes.
Getting the connections or the points that they should.
And hitting that handstand, I mean, that release move to the low bar, you know, you want to be in. A lot of people just kind of, you know, float over that low bar. She takes it to another level. She ends up into that handstand, and it was beautiful. I'll be mad if this isn't.
Just go a little bit higher, so she gets a 9.45, so very close to her high score for the year for Annika Lee. Great job, and she's off to a good start with a 9.525 and a 9.45 in her first 2 events here.
Beautiful routine. Bruce thinks it's good too. He got up and left behind him, so he was gonna hop in there. So great job.
We'll take another break here. More gymnastics from Park Center High School in a moment. Balance beam up next on CCX. There's a look at our scores through 2 rotations for each team. And now we go to the balance beam for our next varsity competition. Hannah Mosier for Park Center up first for the Pirates. Our only look at Hannah tonight in varsity competition.
You know, it always says a lot about the gymnasts if their one varsity event is the balance beam. I think it's the toughest event out of the 4.
She is a senior and Pretty steady, very strong. Coach Smith said a good leadoff person for them.
Again, when we're looking, maybe doesn't have the difficulty in the acrobatic part of this, but her leaps and jumps, by adding those twists and turns to it, she can really increase and make the difficulty factor move up. So right there we did a half tuck jump, half wolf jump into an aerial round up dismount. Other than the one fall she fell on was a full twisting tuck jump. That's hard to do.
And again, another one of those seniors. Coach Smith said, I'm really going to miss this team next year and these girls that he's coached for a long time.
You know, you think about some of these girls, they came over probably from the 7th grade and maybe hadn't had a lot of gymnastics experience, and here he's brought this sport to their lives, and I think he just makes such a difference. Just really an incredible coach.
Their numbers down a little bit, some girls, and this has happened across the board in sports, sitting out because of COVID-19.
Mm-hmm. We're just so thankful that we're here.
Yes,
and that
absolutely.
there is a season, and that we can say that for all of the high school sports and what the Minnesota State High School League has gone through to make sports possible and to keep them safe.
You know, fall sports didn't get any kind of state tournaments. We had our first state competitions the last couple days up north with the state Alpine and Nordic. The state boys Nordic was today. Roger Anderson of Armstrong, congratulations to him, state Nordic champion individual. Score of 6.95 for Hannah Mosier, and now Luna Zhang. Luna's high score, 7.875.
We have a lot of requirements that are on the beam, and one of them was just that full turn that she did there. Wow, that was a half to it split jump, and I know that there was a fall, but the amplitude and the degree of split on that was wonderful. Nice back handspring directly into the back walkover. Oh gosh. When you're doing the balance beam, it is so easy to, you know, have a shoulder dip or a hip out of line. It's only 4 inches wide, so it's incredibly difficult to do these up there. There's a 3/4 twisting wolf jump into a straddle jump. Nice combination. Back handspring full twist, or excuse me, cartwheel full twist, and nice landing on that. I know that she had the 2 falls, but she didn't have so much difficulty in there in those dance elements. You'll see here she does a full twisting, or excuse me, 3/4 wolf jump right into a straddle jump. And continuing on, here's just a lovely cartwheel, full twisting back flip to a good landing.
Jessica Martinez will be up next. So you hope the falls aren't contagious as you go to the 3rd, 4th, and 5th
Yes.
beam competitors here, right?
It puts a little bit of extra pressure. You know, they had the first gal had that fall, and then this one had 2. So you really want your next 3 gymnasts to stay on, and that's one thing that Bruce said. Of all the events in practice, this has been the most difficult to gain that consistency, because along with how they're, you know, separated during the meet tonight, they can't, you know, have 6 girls in line for the balance beam, and each of them do 10 routines due to COVID restrictions also. So it has been hard to find that consistency to get those numbers in during practice to help you stay on the beam.
We had an early fall here for Jessica. 7.125 the score for Luna.
Oh gosh. You know, if you're good, this is the time though, I guess either you want to, if You're going to have some little tweaking to do. At least do it before you go to that section meet. This combination is cartwheel into cartwheel, and what we're looking for here is that you continue that movement and that second foot never touches the balance beam. It swings through to that next cartwheel. And a quarter twisting straddle jump. Full twisting tuck jump, and this is tough because at this time I give her so much credit just getting back up on that balance beam. Beautiful wolf jump. Another one. Front flip dismount, which is a teeny tiny spot from the coach there. Definitely not the way she wanted to go, but anytime you add twisting elements to those jumps and leaps, it increases that difficulty, which increases your chance of possibly falling. Those were beautiful wolf jumps. Notice the height, and I love that she pikes completely in half. And as she gets ready for this punch front dismount, you'll see coach just steps in there just because she didn't quite have enough rotation.
Yeah, sometimes it's tough to recover. She had that fall very early on, and that just seemed to kind of throw her off a little bit.
And you'll find this in any level at any competition. You fall off on that mountain, it is really hard to shake that off and get back on the balance beam. But she didn't quit, and that's the one thing you have to think on balance beam too, is you get back up and you keep tackling, and she did just that.
Falls cost her a score of 5.325. And now Aaliyah Tweet, she is a senior, another one of the co-captains, very steady beam performer. Her high score this year, 7.475.
Hanging on to that beautiful twisting combination tuck jump into a wolf jump. She's one of the gymnasts too that he talks about is being able to get in during practice, get the numbers in that you need to be consistent on this event. Those are absolutely gorgeous cartwheels. Wolf jump into three-quarter wolf jump. Nice job fighting for those landings. Beautiful layout front dismount with a good solid landing. That was an awesome routine, and that was hard to follow watching the three girls go up before you. So you see here, these cartwheels are just beautiful. She's got such a lovely toe point and great flexibility. She's in a full split during those cartwheels. And then finally the front layout dismount. Nice job. Really, really strong routine for her.
Aaliyah's won the varsity event, and she made it a good one.
She did. That should get a really nice score too, just because of all the difficulty by adding those twisting elements into those jumps.
And at 8.425 for Aaliyah, so that is her high score for the season, but quite a bit. And now Annika Lee.
And this is just a treat. Super fun to watch.
Senior co-captain. Her high score this year, 9.4. Oh my goodness. Look at that.
2 back handsprings as if she was doing them on the floor. Do we have any idea where she's going to school? There's got to be. Beautiful. She does a switch leap and then a switch leap with a turn, half turn on that event. The ever-dreaded full turn, which she performs fabulously. Switch leap, and we watch. Oh, boy, I don't know how she was able to hang on to that with such a low landing on a 4-inch piece of apparatus. That was lovely. Getting ready for that dismount. Round off, full twist. Those ankles, that had to hurt a little bit on that, but you'll see here, there's her 2 back handsprings, and what makes those so pretty is there's no pause or hesitation. Here is that back flip. Watch how low. I have no idea how she stayed on. That was exceptional. And then this was just round off, full twist. You know, it's hard enough to do that standing back flip on the balance beam, but when you add that in combination with a switch split leap, again, it's like watching, you know, she's got to be looked at by some, you know, school, good gymnastics school, because she is that talented.
And that concludes the 5th rotation. The 6th rotation in Maple Grove varsity.
And a score of 9.025 for Annika Lee. So that little bit of the bobble, that not quite a fall, but that she did hold on, but still certainly a deduction for that.
It was amazing. I mean, she did, you know, she has all the difficulty to be in the the middle nines and stuff like that, but those are the deductions that can happen. But how the heck she even hung on to that back flip was pretty amazing.
Maple Grove floor exercise will be up next. More gymnastics from Park Center after this timeout. There are the scores for Park Center on the balance beam a moment ago, and the falls certainly making a difference. And the total score 31.525 on the beam for Park Center. As you look at the co-head coaches, both first year as head coach of this Maple Grove program, and former teammates in club gymnastics for Twin Cities Twisters, and then at Winona State as well, for Melanie Martin on your right and Sabrina Hoover on your left. Of course, Sabrina's mom was the head coach for many years, decided not to come back. Shannon retiring as a head coach, her daughter taking over, although Sabrina's been active in coaching for a number of years. But now back together again with Melanie now as head coaches for Maple Grove.
I love when you see that girls come back in any sport to come back and coach at that high school level after having participated in it. It just shows you how much they love the sport, and they're just not ready to give it up.
Bryn McClure will lead it off for the Crimson on the floor.
Opens up with a round of back handspring layout half twist. Floor is by far my favorite event, and I think absolutely funnest to watch as you see your teammates get into the choreography together. And again, we talk about the fact that they really rely on each other during these meets just because we don't have the fans that we're normally used to having. Making changes all the way around to make it work. Beautiful full twisting split jump into full twisting wolf jump. Nice combination. Round up 2 back handspring into that final back flip. That was so much fun to watch. Choreographed it very well. She opens up here with a round off back handspring layout into a half twist. And I like that she dances right out of it. She does that stag jump. And then here we've got the round off 2 back handsprings into the back flip in the tuck position. And a nice ending position for her.
Julie Liebig will be next for Maple Grove. We'll see Julie as well on the balance beam. Our first time seeing her this evening. An 8.55 for Bryn McClure to lead it off for the Crimson on the floor.
Nice start. Each gymnast gets to pick out their own floor music, so you get kind of an idea of their personality. Beautiful handstand double pirouette right into a full twisting wolf jump. Round up back handspring full twist, great body position. She's smiling during the routine, and we like that. Front handspring layout. It's her leaps and jump series, adding some full twist into those. Final tumbling pass, round up 2 back handsprings into a nice back tuck. She has great form on her tumbling passes, all 3 of them.
Very solid, very nice, fun routine to watch.
I'm not sure if who's doing the choreography, if it's the coaches or the girls, but they're just having so much fun. That first is a full twist. She does it with great body position and a handspring front layout, which is hard to do. You kind of have that blind landing, and here's her final. And watch the height on this back flip. She does a nice block, sets it up. Good landing. Okay, so I feel bad they have to put their masks on right away. They're breathing in so hard. I'm afraid the masks are gonna,
Meg O'Leary is next. Score of 8.4 for Julie Liebig.
He's getting ready for that first tumbling pass in the corner. Round up back handspring full twist. Beautiful amplitude on those 2 split jumps. Front handspring layout, front flip. Kind of just changing direction, slowing things down a little bit as she tries to catch her breath. Get ready for her last tumbling pass. Switch sleep, and she does that in the ring position, which is just so pretty when they kick up that back foot. Almost hits their head. Round up 2 back handsprings into a gorgeous layout. Another really nice routine choreographed. We'll take a look at that first one. It's a round-off back handspring, beautiful full twist into a good landing. Here's the front handspring layout front flip. And then finally, the round-off 2 back handsprings into a nice layout back flip. She has really good form as she tumbles. I love when gymnasts do those rounded back handsprings and their legs are just straight and locked together, and it just makes it so pretty.
8.575 for Meg O'Leary and Abby Palmer, their 4th competitor.
She opens up with beautiful round off. She does it, and it's a 1.5 twist. Again, nice amplitude and height on those split jumps, and I love that she's in that full split. It makes it so pretty. Front handspring layout. You'll see that the gymnast will kind of take a little bit of a breather break where they slow it down a little bit as they're getting ready to go for their final and 3rd tumbling pass, because you want this to have just as much height as the first one does. And that one sure did. Round up back handspring full twist. I love the ending position. So this is a round off 1.5 twist. That's a blind landing since she did it so beautifully. Second one is a front handspring layout. And then finally, we have a round-up back handspring full twist. And I love how she kind of opens up that body on that last part of the twist and just floats into the landing. You can see she's mentally going over the routine in her head.
We should see 2 of the best floor routines in the state tonight. Sasha's coming up, and Annika Lee's still to come. Sasha's been as high as 9.775 this year on the floor.
This is going to come down to sections. Who's going to take the floor, because it's, potentially going to be one or the other.
.775 for Abby Palmer.
Look at that smile. She is performing right now. Beautiful twisting handstand pirouette. Wonderful. I love it. Handspring full twist right into a double stake. So I love that she dances out of it. And now we're just going to have some fun. Beautiful on those combinations.
That was fun.
Even the team's getting in on the choreography.
Wow.
That is what most people will open with. Second pass, round off 1.5 twist into a front flip. Think she's having fun out there? I do. And what solid on that landing. Round off 1.5. That was absolutely wonderful, wonderful to watch. Love the back flip to her stomach at the end there. This is just awesome. So here's that first tumbling pass. round off, front handspring full to a stag jump. And here she does 1.5 into a punch front and then ends up with the 1.5 at the end. And you can't do that pass any better than that.
She was a fun routine that you could see before each pass. You could kind of see in her eyes how she would mentally focus, like, okay, here's what I have to do. And then she nailed all three of them.
Yeah. And I love the smile when she hits those landings. It just lights up everything. I'm hoping this will be her high score of the season because we haven't seen her compete yet, but that was amazing. That was an amazing routine.
It is not her high score. 9.475 is a great score. Nearly 9.5, and she will look to do that again next week. We'll talk about the section meet when we come back from break, and we'll have more gymnastics. We'll see the Crimson again up on the balance beam. Sasha Thompson knocking out her teammates, getting a 9.475 on the floor. More gymnastics in a moment.
If I could be you, and you could be me for just 1 hour. If we could find a way to get inside each other's minds. Walk a mile in my shoes. Walk a mile in my shoes. Well, before you abuse, criticize, and accuse. Walk a mile in my shoes.
John Jacobson, Debbie Rasmussen back at Park Center High School. This was in between events between Park Center competing on the beam, the varsity and junior varsity, and Maple Grove's varsity and JV. And they're doing this when the teams are switching apparatus, making sure they're cleaning out. And Park Center taking responsibility for it here at their home meet. They do a lot of cleaning at practices, more during the meet, spraying and disinfecting the mats. Coach Smith said they go through gallons of disinfectant every day, and it's great though, and a little more clean for these girls, or definitely more clean when they get on to the apparatus when we switch from team to team. So
it's amazing what you are going to be willing to do in order to have your season. And if this is the case, not one single girl on the Park Center team was without a mop, a towel. We were calling it the towel dance in between. And it's just so important that they all come together as a team. And, for all the teams and all the schools that host these events, that you comply with everything that you need to do, because you want your girls to be able to have a season.
I mentioned Section 5AA meet is coming up this week. It's Thursday at Champlin Park High School. There'll be 2 pods of 4 teams in the afternoon. Starting at 2:55, it's Rogers, the combined Osseo Fridley team, Champlin Park, and Maple Grove. And then in the evening, starting at 7:05, Park Center, Elk River Zimmerman, who's the team favorite, Spring Lake Park St. Anthony, and St. Michael Albertville. That's all Thursday, with gymnasts then going on to stay. We go to the beam for Maple Grove, and the only event of the evening for Gabby Thule. She is a senior. We talk about some girls, this is their only varsity event. This is her only event, period. So she's been watching, had a little warm-up time here, and now she leads it off for the Crimson here on the beam.
And that's tough to do. It's been about 2 hours now that she has been sitting around and cheering on her team. So to end your night with your only event that you're on the balance beam, and you're taking that lead-off position, the coaches must feel very strongly that this is the gal they want in this position.
And another one of the gymnasts that Coach Hoover mentioned had an injury early in the season. There you see the wrap on her right ankle.
Really nice cartwheel round-off combination. I always giggle with that full turn. It's one of the hardest things you can do, yet every single gymnast has to have it in your routine, and they make it look a lot easier than it is. Really nice Three-quarter twisting tuck jump right into that back flip dismount off the side. You'll see this cartwheel, that foot swings all the way through, goes right into the round off. And here's that twisting tuck jump into a back flip dismount. That was a good, really strong start for Maple Grove. Consistent gymnast that has, like you said, been kind of following the team around to all the events, and then she starts off Maple Grove really, really good.
We mentioned a lot of sophomores on this team, and the seniors helping to provide that leadership. Gabby, one of them. Julie Liebig here, another one, who will be up next for the Crimson. Solid opening score of 8.5 for Gabby Thule, and now Julie Liebig.
She is such a graceful gymnast to watch. We saw it on the floor, and watching her in warm-ups, we'll see it on the balance beam also. There's that cartwheel round-off combination. Switch leap into twisting tuck. Oh, darn, just couldn't quite hang on to that. And again, that's when you add those twisting elements to the jump that it makes it worth more, but increases the risk of falling off. Wolf jump into that move. That jump there is called a Sassone. It's a beautiful jump split, lands on one leg. Hangs on to that landing. Good job. She does a round off full twist dismount.
Good finish for her routine after the fall.
This is that round off full twist, and you'll see here she just dropped her shoulders a little bit, and she's fighting to stay without moving those feet. Nice job. You know, and this is being it's the last dual meet of the season and stuff, you want to work out all the kinks, and you know, maybe you're not getting your highest score, but that just makes you want to go back to that gym and work a little bit harder the next week so you're ready for sections.
Crimson on the beam, starting with two seniors. They'll finish it with three sophomores, beginning with Meg O'Leary. Score of 7.8 for Julie Liebig.
So you take out that fall, and she would have been in the mid-8s, and that's a nice routine for her.
Maple Grove and Champlain Park, as I mentioned, will compete in the same pod next Thursday afternoon at Champlain Park, which is also the site of the state meet this year. Those teams figure to probably battle it out for second place, with Elk River Zimmerman the favorite in the team competition. They'll compete in the evening pod along with Park Center.
Nice split leap into jump split wolf jump. She does that back handspring into back walkover. Nice layout. And what was so pretty about that, she didn't stop. It was like back handspring, back walkover, right into that layout back flip. Nice connection. You see here she does back handspring. Her arms continue moving. Maybe a tiny bit of a pause, but that back flip. And you could tell she was off to the side just a little bit, and she still threw the back flip anyways and did a nice job. Getting lots of words of encouragement from the coach. You know, as a coach, this is the event that's the hardest to coach, yet it's the most rewarding. And to try to keep your gymnasts focused and their nerves down to do this event is difficult.
Abby Palmer up next. So we hold on the score for Meg O'Leary here. The score of 8.625 for Meg O'Leary. Here's Abby Palmer.
Really pretty, and that one you saw, she never stopped moving. That was from back handspring, arms push all the way through into the back walkover. Does that full turn. Nice switch leap into half twisting straddle. Wow, that was a really, really good routine. She was solid. She didn't have many balance checks. Her back handspring, back walkover was, you know, you couldn't do it any better than this. You'll see here, arms continually move. She goes right from one move to the next. And then here she's going to do this twisting jump immediately into that back flip off the side. Solid landing, pretty routine.
Good routine for Abby Palmer. Sasha Thompson will be the last competitor for Maple Grove tonight, as she was in the vault and the floor earlier. You know, we talked to their coaches a little bit in between before they came over the beam about her floor, and it was a great routine. A couple little things that the judges caught that could be improved on that cost her a couple tenths of a point.
Apparently last week she scored, I believe they said like a 9.8, which I believe that routine is so capable of scoring. But, you know, like the coaches are saying, that's okay, because now she's going to go back into the gym and work out those little things that maybe she didn't get the, you know, full credit for. And she's going to come out really hungry next week to win that floor title. And she's got a routine that she could easily do that.
Judges are conferring an Abby Palmer score. On your left there is Megan Johnson. She's the head coach, excuse me, on your right, Megan Johnson, head coach at Hopkins High School. We saw them earlier this year against Wayzata. Her Hopkins team will host the Section 6AA meet next Saturday, March 20th. They'll be in a pod along with Wayzata, Minnetonka, and Edina. And the section champion will certainly come out of that group of 4, and a lot of really talented gymnasts that we saw earlier this season on the Wayzata and Hopkins teams will go at it next week at the sections at Hopkins High School.
That's going to be a good meet, because it's going to come down to this event. That's how I feel, whichever one of those two teams performs on this event.
8.9 for Abby Palmer. Here's Sasha Thompson.
Doing a shoulder stand for a mount, really original.
Her high score in this event, 9.55, that she scored last week.
Does that switch leap into the standing back flip. She makes it look easy. Not a lot of balance checks after those two twisting jumps. Wolf jump into split jump. She does this cartwheel combination, cartwheel into full twist back flip. You know what? You just want to give her a good score because she smiles. Before
there you go.
she even lands, she's got that big old smile on her face. Here's that switch leap. She just does a teeny balance check right into the back flip. Shoulders are high. Nice job. Here's a cartwheel, and watch, she swings that foot through to another cartwheel, and she's already smiling. Really fun to watch.
We'll hold for a score for Sasha before we get to our final routine in a few moments.
You know, we should clarify, we're talking about these pods in these meets. Normally, all 8 teams show up and they compete together, but due to COVID, they're giving it a pod. So 4 compete in the morning and 4 compete in the afternoon. And they were going to do a random draw, and I'm not sure if they still did that or if they went with, you know, the top 4 in one pod and the second in the other pod. But that's what we're talking about when we're talking about pods. I think again, we're so grateful that we are here and they're able to have the meets, and so they'll take it any way they can. It might take away from a little bit of the energy that goes on.
Yeah, swimming and skiing did a very similar thing, or are doing a similar thing. Skiing is over now, but swimming going on, where they're having pods of teams and compete at separate times, and then you combine the scores and you find out who's advancing. So it's a little different. It's not necessarily that instant that you know, hey, I'm on to stay, because you may not know what's going to happen later,
exactly.
or even in the evening. So regardless, it's a great way to compete more safely, and you're still getting to compete. So 9.325 for the score for Sasha.
And that's what makes it so great, is that they, like I said, things are different this year, but we're having a finish to the season, and I think these girls, you know, aren't going to care in the least that they're going to be in pods now instead of a whole thing. But like you said, it does make it harder to find out who wins, you know, maybe not so much in the team, but as it comes to the individuals.
And we're seeing Park Center warm up on the floor. We'll take a quick break, come back, and we'll finish our meet with our final rotation. Park Center floor exercise next on CCX. Ready for competition on the floor exercise for Park Center. As you look at the beam scores a moment ago for Maple Grove, ending with Sasha Thompson's 9.325.
That was a really, really nice beam routine for Sasha. It's fun to, you know, watch when you get those last gymnasts. Like, we're going to see a floor routine tonight from Annika that is outstanding.
Rakia Eastman is a senior co-captain, and our first time seeing Rakia tonight. New floor music this year, new routine for her. Last year, her high score of the season, 8.35, and hoping to push it higher here tonight.
Really nice. She has a full twisting wolf jump to a 1.5 twisting tuck jump. Thrown up back handspring back flip in the pike position. Really nice amplitude on those jumps. Front flip into dive roll cartwheel. Oh my gosh, that move there is called a Valdez. I haven't seen that in years. It was one of my favorite moves back in the day. gets ready for that final tumbling pass. Round up 2 back handsprings. Nice routine. She has great jumps.
Let's look at part of Rakia's routine again, Deb.
Yes, her first is round up back handspring, and she does a back flip in the pike position. Here's her forward tumbling pass, punch front, dive roll right into the cartwheel. And the final tumbling pass she's going to do round up 2 back handsprings. She has really, really nice form. I love that front walkover. And here's that move. It's a Valdez. And round up 2 back handsprings. Good form.
Harmony Harrison will be up next for the Pirates. And a score of 8.1 for Rakia.
It's a good score.
Harmony Harrison, also new music this year. Her high score, an 8.15.
Round up 2 back handsprings into a nice back flip. She had good height on that and a nice landing. Having a lot of fun there. A little bit of dance choreography before she hits that second tumbling pass. Nice job. Front handspring, front flip into a dive roll. Again, showing that change of direction, so they have to do some work, dance elements and things where they are actually not in standing up position, but doing some dance movements down on the floor, and she gets ready for this third tumbling pass. Round up back handspring, back flip. Nice, cute routine. What made her routine so neat was that every jump or leap had a full or a 1.5 twist to it. So here's that first tumbling pass. She does round off 2 back handsprings into a nice high back flip with great landing. Handspring front, right into the dive roll. And finally that round up back handspring back flip. She should be happy with that. I don't think she did one jump without putting a full twist or a 1.5 twist in, and that's tough to do.
Score of 8.05 for Harmony Harrison. And now Jessica Martinez.
And Jessica probably just wanting to forget that the beam happened tonight and end on a really strong event for her. Nice punch front forward roll into that cartwheel.
I like the salsa music.
I do too. Just round up back roll into a back extension. And there we go. There's the salsa, having some fun. Handstand double pirouette. Right into that full twisting wolf jump. Another punch front, forward roll, cartwheel. nice routine. I love the choreography. Like you said, the music just makes you want to get up and start dancing. So that first tumbling pass, she does that punch front cartwheel, or excuse me, roll into cartwheel. Great height on that first. Round up backward roll, and I love that she pops right up into a handstand. That's called a back extension. And that third tumbling pass, again, another punch front. Forward roll cartwheel. It's a good end for her. I know that things were tough on the balance beam, but she ended strong with a really nice floor routine.
She's going to score in the 8s. Looks like 8.0 for Jessica Martinez. And Luna Zhang is up next. Luna's high score, 9.075 this year. Coach Smith thinks she's got some big skills and tumbles well. Let's take a look.
Switch slip full twist into split jump full twist. Back handspring full twist. Things that we look for on the floor is not only the difficulty in the tumbling passes, but when she's doing those jumps and splits, you want the splits to be in a full 180 and have great amplitude on those jumps. You also want each of the tumbling passes to have difficulty in them. Really nice punch front, punch front. You have to tumble forwards and backwards. You can do at least one in each direction. I love that she ends with a full twist on her last tumbling pass also. For a 7th grader, she's got a lot of difficulty in that routine. So you'll see this first tumbling pass. Round up back handspring full twist. Her body's completely laid out and a lot of height. Here's punch front, and she has to land and punch right into the second one. A little tiny low on that landing, but still a nice job. And ends with a round up back handspring full twist also. She shows a ton of potential. It'll be fun to watch her.
Danica Lee will be up next. He holds the school record in this event, a 9.625. Wow. Score of 8.2 for Luna Zhang.
She's just a routine that you almost just want to sit back and watch because it has absolutely everything you need for a good score in it.
She owns the school record in the vault, the floor, and the all-around. They're second in state last year in the all-around at bars.
Beautiful 1.5 to a pike front flip. She tumbles about as high as she is tall. Layout front into a pike front. Having fun with the choreography, getting ready for this final tumbling pass. Round up back handspring 1.5 twist. That was an awesome routine, and what impressed me the most is the height that she has on those tumbling passes. This first one, 1.5, boom, right into a pike front flip, and she almost stands that completely up. That's how high she tumbles. And again, front handspring, front layout, front pike. Here's this full or 1.5 twist. She doesn't have to pike anything down when she lands. She's fully extended.
It's a great combination of grace and power, isn't it? To watch her compete.
Oh, John, that was good.
Okay.
Yes, grace and power.
I'll end the meet on a high note.
Really, you hit the nail on the head. It was. She's an excellent dancer. She's a wonderful tumbler, and just really a lovely routine. I think it's going to be interesting to come. I don't know who is on the Elk River team, but the two last floor teams that we've seen here tonight are definitely state contenders.
Annika scoring a 9.6, 9.625 was her high score, so that's also the school record. So very close to that mark again. She'll have at least one more meet to compete in, and even if she were to win last year, she's definitely good enough. She's going to be an all-arounder at state,
Absolutely.
so she'll definitely move on to a state through section competition next week, whether or not she actually wins the floor, but she certainly could after having seen that.
After seeing that, and this is one of the most difficult routines we've seen in our coverage this season, and she's got everything that she needs to go to state, probably in all 4 events actually, and the all-around, so she can make it as an individual as well as an all-arounder. And it's Park Center probably won't make it as the team, but you watch her and she keeps the energy, and she's that good senior leader and everything, knowing that probably for the other girls next weekend will probably be their lads competition, but for her, they will then be there to cheer her on as an individual.
We'll take time out. We'll come back. We'll give you the final scores and wrap up our coverage of tonight's meet. Park Center Maple Grove. You look one more time at Annika Lee and the Pirates. We'll finish things up here on CCX from Park Center High School after this. To look at our top all-rounders tonight, Annika Lee of Park Center on your right, Sasha Thompson of Maple Grove on your left. Those two competing tonight. They'll compete again next week, although in separate pods, as we talked about the Section 5AA meet coming on Thursday. But fun to watch those girls and all the girls here tonight. John Jacobson along with Debbie Rasmussen back at Park Center. Maple Grove winning our meet today, 140.275 to 131. Even for Park Center as you look at the final tally, Deb.
It was a great meet for both teams. I think the beam kind of had took a toll on some of the gals, but better do it today than tomorrow. And I loved in that last final shot, we saw the two top all-arounders, like they were talking like they're best friends, and they were discussing the meet and talking about, well, we did this and I did this and that, and just complimenting each other on there. And I just love that camaraderie, because next weekend might be a different story as they compete against each other for top spots to make it to the state meet.
Great way to end up the regular season too, because each team gets their team high score in a meet this season, and so that's a positive heading into the section meet next week. They'll compete at Champlin Park High School, 2 pods. Maple Grove will be in the afternoon one, along with Champlin Park, and Park Center will be in the evening one. So fun way for us to end up with the regular season tonight, Deb. So some great performances tonight. Good luck to all these girls next week at section, for some of them in a couple of weeks at state.
We're very excited, and we're just so thankful this season took place this year.
Absolutely.
Yay!
Thanks so much for watching. For Debbie Rasmussen and all of our crew, I'm John Jacobson. Our final score again, the Crimson defeating Park Center 140.275, 131 even for the Pirates. Good night from Park Center High School.